Dust Junkies. This is me, Dave Roberts, on the wonderful 107 Meridian FM. We got 20 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and I'm really pleased to say that my guests tonight, Danny, Tim, and Mattia, are here. And as I said earlier on, we were just going to have a chat and play a couple of their tracks off of CD, etc. Which would have been great, but they've decided to turn up at the last minute with an acoustic guitar, an electric bass with amp, and about 50% of a drum kit, I would say. We got a big snare drum there and a couple of cymbals. So Mattia on the drums, he's been pushed like right to the back of the room, which isn't that far. It's probably only about 10 feet from me. He's not going to be mic'd up at all. We're just going to hope that the volume of his drum playing, I hope he doesn't do a Keith Moon or anything, but he's a nice subtle drummer, you know, sort of like a jazz drummer or something, and we should be okay. So we're trying to sort things out as it goes. But if you're kind of wondering, if you haven't been listening over the last couple of weeks, what Hybrid Kid sound like, believe me, they are very, very good. From their 4-track EP, just called Hybrid Kid, as far as I can see, that I've got in front of me. We've got Setting Sun, Irish Nanny, Warning Shot, and this one, David Lean.
Saw David Lean this morning in the dawn. The sky above was frozen, shielding the walls. Your profile and silhouette fades like a flower. Bet you can't answer that with a word.
told you, didn't I? Really excellent track. Played that a couple of times over the last 2 weeks, I think. From my guest tonight, Hybrid Kid. Really nice track, David Lean. We got Dan on the doing the vocals and the acoustic guitar. We got Tim on the bass guitar, and we got Matthias on the drums. And how this is going to sound, I do not know, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna give it the best that we can. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. You've come all the way out from Brighton, I understand. Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah.
Let's just get a bit more volume going.
Down them little lanes. Crikey.
Yeah, long way away. Yeah. Harry Drive.
So you've got this EP out, 4-track EP, but it's not your first sort of recording, is it?
We've done a bunch of recordings, but never really, done much to put them out. This wasn't the first one we're getting out on iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. So this is kind of their big release now. This one,
yeah.
So we're giving this a big push.
Yeah.
See where we go.
How long have you been together, Tim?
Well, Hybrid Kid's been going for a few years with Danny at the core, but this incarnation of it is that's from the start of this year.
Yeah.
Matthew came in around Christmas time, and I was actually working with Danny's wife, and she just mentioned that he needed a bass player, and I said I'd fill in for a bit until they found someone, and we're still here,
still filling in,
still on loan. We're still sitting here on loan.
You're still looking,
yeah. So none of us knew each other either. It's not like we've grown up together, things like that. So we've got quite different tastes in music,
I was going to say, did you have songs together, or did you already get Dan? Did you have songs written, or Tim? Did you have songs?
Well,
written?
it's more like there's a good amount of songs there already, which we could gig with. But then this EP is really the first start of this new incarnation's songs. So
now writing together and now stuff like that. Yeah.
So do you write as a threesome, or the two of you, or how's it work?
Usually comes from Danny. Danny will come with something, and then we'll add on top of that. But lyrics and main, the tune comes from there. But obviously, then Matthew will come up with some crazy rhythm, and I'll have to try and follow him. That's kind of how they work.
So how's the music scene down in Brighton? How's it going? Because it's I've always found it pretty good down there.
It's good. Brighton's really good for music, theatre, stuff like that. I mean, people moan about venues shutting down, but there always seems to be a new one opening up. So
yeah,
I just found a new place. Pipeline, there's a new one. I didn't know that was out. I don't know how long that's been there. It looks good.
So where do you is Brighton your main core of places, or do you just travel the world, as it were?
Yeah, Brighton really. We're branching out a bit. We're going up to Manchester in a couple of weeks ago, another radio show thing, and then
it's really
plugging out festivals and that. See where we're going.
Really, like the start of the push. So this is like the end of the wedge. Hopefully, we'll expand from here.
Yeah,
we're stratospheric this time next year with a bit of luck.
So you've all obviously been in other bands over the years.
Yeah.
And they've just kind of drifted off into the ether, and
it's hard, man. It's hard to really make it happen. It's hard, but we just
tell me about it.
Yeah, trying to avoid doing a covers band or something.
Well, you say that. Covers bands they can make jolly good money.
They do.
If you're just in it
for the money, that's the way to go. Yeah.
The goal is to get your own material out there and liked, isn't it? That's what gives you the satisfaction.
Band at my daughter's wedding the other day, just under £2,000 for the night.
Wow,
a lot of money.
Jesus.
Yeah. Between about 4 of them, but it was their full-time job, so I'll give them that.
We might get 2,000 pence. We might get.
Mind you, we're both out playing with covers bands on Saturday night just to fill in, aren't we? So
yeah. Where did the name come from?
Oh gosh, years ago. It was a friend of ours. It was going to be like they got an animation firm, and it was going to be like a cartoon character, and they came up with this for me. I went, oh yeah, we'll have that. They never used it, so
yeah.
Somebody else picked it.
You're allowed to have it. Yeah. It's
hard names, isn't it? We went through 100, trying to think of them for ages, and then someone come up with this one, and we sort of grabbed it. Yeah, that'll do.
It's kind of right place at right time. I mean, if you think about it, if a band came along nowadays and called themselves the Beatles, you just think, what a stupid name.
Yeah, we'd straight away.
But it obviously
once they stick, don't they? Yeah.
It's repetition, isn't it? Once you get used to it, like U2 was a pretty naff name, I think.
Yeah, well,
but once
absolutely
you hear it a load of times, it
Yeah,
just
most of
becomes-
them are.
Yeah.
Well, look, I tell you what, you've got all these instruments and amps and drums and things like that lying about here. We better get some use out of them.
Okay,
So
see if we can do something.
What are you going to play for us?
This is a song we recorded probably just over a year ago. It's called "Coming Round Again."
Any
Unplugged and-
stories behind it?
Don't know really. It's just one of them. It's just happened and it's happening now.
Plucked out the sky.
Plucked out the sky is one of them. Yeah.
Here we go.
Coming round again, hanging round my back porch window, working all the angles, trying to gain the upper hand. Tell me that you lost your edge, you can't get back, you let it slip, you're off the track, and yeah. What you need, more or less I found the best way round those lines in between, all the rest will find you. Coming round again, making all of the right noises, saying that you want this, thinking just the opposite. Tell me that you lost your edge, you can't get back, you let it slip, you're off the track, and yeah, yeah. Say what you need, more or less I found the best way round those lines in between, all the rest will find you. Say what you need, more or less I found the best way round those lines in between, all the rest will find you. Say what you need, more or less I found the best way round those lines in between, all the rest will find you. Say what you need, more or less I found the best way round those lines in between, all the rest will find you.
Oh, excellent. Caught a bit of the old ringing cymbals there as I brought my mic up. Oh, let's just hang on.
Away.
I think try that, Dan. Is that, I'm just trying to just say something for me.
Hello,
Oh, that's
yeah,
better.
yeah.
We've got you back again. Good.
I could do a drink of water or something.
That's better.
Okay.
How do you? Because I like your songs. I genuinely do think they're very, very catchy. It's the first time I've heard that one. How do you go? What's your writing process?
So at the moment, I'm getting up early in the morning and going up the hill in my car and with a little acoustic guitar and playing there in the quiet. So that's seems to be working at the moment. I don't know how to say really. It's just usually a riff will come first and then chords and then the lyrics later. So that's the way everybody does it really. But then we bring it in, and then whatever happens kind of thing when we're in the rehearsal space.
What are your influences? When you write a song, do you think, oh, it sounds a bit like, or I'd love to sound like, or do you do that, or do you think, no, I'm pushing everything out, or I just want to be me?
I think a lot of the reason I came on board, and because like I said, I really was just thinking I was going in for a couple of practices and to cover for a little bit, and when I heard Danny's songs, I thought these are really quite special, and part of the reason was I couldn't really pin it on anything. It wasn't, most stuff reminds you of other stuff, but this stuff didn't really remind me of anything too much, So I think.
I mean, do you headline gigs, or you've just been supporting for now, or what have you been doing?
Mainly, it's small gigs really usually.
Pubs and
small venues around.
How do you find people actually listening? Do you find that? Because I've been in pubs where you see the band sort of struggling away, and you can hear them. They think they're good, but you look at everyone else; they're just sitting around having a beer, and they're not paying the blindest bit of attention.
Yeah, I think you got to have some kind of promotion behind you as well, and then the gigs on top of that. So hopefully we're giving this the push and getting some airplay around and.
Have you got
it a little bit?
We've been going down the gigs we've done though. I mean, it's just like it's more a case. I think of it's not so much the people who are there. It's getting the people in there to start with. Sometimes you'll show up and places are just half full because they're not being promoted, or But we've been kind of taking pretty much any gig we can get just to get knocked into shape. So we don't mind that too much. But it's always been pretty good when the people who've come to see us have been pretty appreciative.
Do you have a manager, or do you do it all yourself?
All ourselves. Yeah. So it's been quite a step-by-step process, taking obvious steps. We get together, we got enough new songs, we go and record them. What do we do? The recordings come out. Well, what do we do with that? Well, we'll get them pressed up and we'll promote it. Which is where we are.
How do you find getting gigs? Is that easy to do?
Well, the recordings are really good. So really, I think. Usually not always, but people are quite receptive to them, so that really helps. I think have a really good recording in the first place. So usually it's.
We seem to be getting on the main club circuit in Brighton fairly quickly. We're playing the Plug Away, but we're playing the Green Door Store tomorrow night, which is sort of quite a regular.
What's the other one? The Brunswick you've done there? Is it the Brunswick?
We played the year and a bit ago.
Yeah, that's a good place.
It's good,
it's nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
Concord 2.
Not yet. That's probably a bit,
slightly
higher bands mostly.
You might get a support act there.
Yeah, it would be nice. That's the sort of thing we'd like, really.
It's a good gig as well. I like it. I mean, what do you do to get the gigs? You're phoning people up. You go and knocking on doors. Here's my CD. Listen to it.
It's internet these days. A lot of everything's internet, isn't it? And there's a lot of places that put out the call for bands. They've got they need a support. They need a third band to play at a gig at short notice. And then through that, we've got people coming back to us now, because I suppose even if, it's like sound guys and things like that, remember you, they'll sort of tip off promoters of, if you need a band, those guys will play. So there's more starting to come through now,
What about London way? Have you got up to London, any of the gigs around there yet?
That's the next step, I think, isn't it?
We haven't recently. I did live in London a few years ago, so I had a few gigs up there with the previous guys, but not with these guys, no.
Yeah. It's a tough old market, but I mean, I don't know how much of this are you into it? Are you kind of ready to plug away for the next 10 years?
Sounds a lot of time. I think we'll be making music for 10 years. Whether
it's one of them things. It's hard to drop. You keep getting drawn back to it. So
exactly. Yeah. And if you produce stuff that you're happy with, then you want to get it out there. So it's like it might not be a full 10-year push, but it might be up and down. Maybe do other stuff in between, take more time to record sometimes.
It's a tough thing. It really is a tough thing. And what makes it even tougher to me is when you hear and see stuff that you just listen to it and you think, what on earth is that rubbish? And it gives you nothing. And you think, why are they there where they are? And there's great bands who are really dedicated, reasonably original as well, and they're just not getting anywhere. It's very frustrating. It really is. Do you want to do another live one? Do you want to do another one?
We can do one more. We'll do one. Do you want to do Setting Sun? We could do one. Yeah. We could do one off the EP.
This is on the EP. If you don't play that one, then we'll do one. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Let's do that.
So this is Setting Sun.
Setting Sun. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Setting Sun. Hybrid Kid.
Is it me starting this one? Yeah. Oh yeah, swear you might quick. You do? You do?
Getting late, the field of play, the setting sun, wipe away the games that you missed, tears that you kissed. We're making it all up today. The love you found, is it in? Furious dreaming again. Love you found, is it in? Furious dreaming again. Making headway, can't you see it? All in a place now, finding your feet. But all those games that you missed, tales that you kissed, we're making it all up today. My love you found, is it in? Furious dreaming again. Love you found, is it in? Furious dreaming again.
Fading out cymbal. It's just gorgeous when I bring it up. It's lovely. Oh, brilliant. Let's just turn you up again, Tim.
Hello, hello.
I think we're all running again there. It's good. Dear listener, I have to set the controls, not for the Heart of the Sun, but I have to set the controls so that, you know, you do one thing for a musical instrument. It's a little bit louder when somebody's just having a little chat. So, yeah. So, you feeling pretty optimistic about life musically?
Well, like I say, you're all playing our song, and there seems to be a bunch of stations around the country are picking up at the minute. So we're getting a lot of nice feedback on it. And
yeah.
I'm plugging festivals at the minute. Try and get some reviewers in there and see where it goes.
Yeah. I've seen you've brought it in. If I could just...
Yeah, we've got the vinyl as well.
We got the vinyl one.
You come with gifts.
Very shiny.
Vinyl. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. Lovely. But what was the reason behind the vinyl? Is that a purist attitude or a promotional attitude?
Probably, just enthusiasts, you know.
Now, yeah.
It's not real if it's not on vinyl.
So I guess in the old days this would have been called like a 12-inch single, wouldn't it? Even though it's got 4 tracks on it.
Yeah, would have been.
But I mean, how many of these did
speed.
how many of these did you get pressed up?
boxes. I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably too many. Probably get it. That'll be
There's still a lot of
Christmas
hotcakes,
presents for a long time.
It's going to be a few.
But yeah, a
Well,
couple of thousand. I think.
Couple of thousand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It's just the cost of getting them pressed is like thousands, is nearly the same as 2,000. Yeah. So.
yeah. I mean, do they sell?
They're starting to go. Yeah. We've got a Bandcamp site which Matthew has been running,
Yeah.
and they're starting to go. Yeah, since you played first time around, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's steadily getting orders. Yeah. Which is great.
Oh, for the vinyl
For the
as well?
vinyl, more for the vinyl than the CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, way more. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I mean, I'm still playing my old vinyl at home occasionally, and it's
It's more ritual, isn't it? More
oh,
enjoyable,
is it?
you know.
Just sitting there
So
watching
nice.
it go round.
Yeah, it's good. You listen to it properly when it's on.
Yeah, you do. You pay attention
Yeah,
to it,
yeah.
and you don't let anyone near it in case they jog the arm. Whereas your CDs or your downloads, you can whatever you want to do with them. It really doesn't matter. Oh, brilliant! So where can people buy all these? Apart from the Bandcamp,
Bandcamp at the moment, and then
yeah.
we're going to be moving it on to Spotify and iTunes. So it's
Yeah.
for download, for those newfangled download
Yeah.
kind of fans. Yeah.
And where you playing? Did you say? Is it tomorrow night?
Yeah,
you said?
tomorrow night at the Green Door Store. Yeah. Free entry as well. So yeah.
Where is that?
It's right under the Brighton train
Under the
station.
Brighton station. Yeah.
Oh, okay, no.
So it's an
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It's a great venue.
Literally under the station.
Yeah,
You
it's in the
can't-
arches underneath it. Yeah.
You come out the front, you go down Trafalgar Street and do that first left. It's one of the railway arches under there. You see it along there.
Yeah.
Near the Albert. It's right near the Albert. So.
Oh,
But yeah, it's a great venue.
Yeah.
Good gig, that one.
And like
So,
4 bands on.
4 bands, free entry.
Free entry.
We run about 9 o'clock. So
brilliant.
come on down.
Yeah, an email in from Dave. He's one of my regular contributors. Bless him.
Yeah.
Evening, Dave. He said another great show. Well, I don't know what to say to that. He said he's really enjoying the guests. So they said you remind them of the Finn brothers. So it's on Neil and Tim from the in their sort of transition. He's saying from Split Ends to Crowded House. Well, I mean, it's. I always think if somebody says you remind them of or you sound a bit like, and the people you're sounding like are an excellent band. And a fantastic band like Crowded House. I wouldn't think, oh no, we're going down the wrong road. I'd take that as a real compliment.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks very much,
song,
buddy.
right, isn't it?
I mean, it's the first time we've heard songs played like this as well, so it's news to us.
So your normal setup is obviously like a full drum
Well,
kit.
quite
Yeah,
quite
it's
electric. Normally,
a bit loud and
quite
there's a
noisy.
few pedals.
Yeah.
Should go a bit easier on them, really, shouldn't I, the pedals?
No, I don't think so.
And it is just the three of you. You don't,
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
classic sort of power 3-piece, because there's a different dynamic. 3-piece is kind of everyone's really important. I think in a 3-piece, and you really play off each
Everyone's
other.
got an important job to do, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's good.
Brilliant.
A bit more tension. I always think in 3 pieces.
Yeah. So you can catch you down in Brighton tomorrow night at the Green
Door
Store.
Store.
Yeah.
I love Brighton. I love Brighton.
Come down.
I could live in Brighton easily. I do like Brighton. It's a lovely place. Gentlemen, Dan, Tim, Matthias, it's been an absolute joy. Matthias is so far away, by the way. He could just say hi.
Hello. Hi from Sardinia.
We're such a poor station, we couldn't afford another microphone with that long a lead to get to him.
It's not a problem for me. No worries at all.
But it's lovely to see you. And Dan and Tim, it's great to see you. And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your support.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks for playing. It's brilliant.
And I thought what I'd do, actually, because I'm enjoying this EP so much. And it's so nice. This is one I only heard about, 4 or 5 days ago. This is Hybrid Kid from their 4-track EP. This is Irish Nanny. Excellent. Hybrid Kid there and Irish Nanny from their 4-track EP. Available on CD, available on vinyl, which is wonderful. And you can get it all from their Bandcamp site. So a nice bunch of blokes, really nice bunch of blokes. And it's great when people turn up and they've got all sorts of instruments and and bits and pieces and things like that. And I'm scratching my head and thinking to myself, oh dear, how am I going to get around this? Because I've got to, I've got to balance out all the sound, etc. And into my ears, in my headphones. It sounded okay. It sounded reasonably well balanced. I hope it did. I'll have to listen back to the recordings that we do and just hope that it turned out okay. But you can catch them tomorrow night at the Green Door, which is, I think it was the Green Door, under the arches at Brighton Station. So if you're down that way, please go in and see them. You will definitely not be disappointed. Free to get in as well, so if you don't like it, you can walk out. You've lost nothing, have you? So you might as well just go. This is me, Dave Roberts, on the wonderful 107 Meridian FM, and we've got about 4 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock. An hour gone already.